On May 25, 1979, American Airlines Flight 191, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, crashed shortly after takeoff from Chicago O'Hare International Airport, resulting in the tragic deaths of all 271 people on board and 2 people on the ground. The disaster remains the deadliest aviation accident in U.S. history and had profound implications for aircraft maintenance, engineering, and aviation safety regulations. Flight 191 was a routine domestic flight to Los Angeles with 258 passengers and 13 crew members. As the aircraft began its takeoff roll on runway 32R, it lifted off normally, but moments after becoming airborne, it began to roll violently to the left. Investigations revealed that the left engine and pylon assembly had separated from the wing. This was catastrophic because it caused damage to the leading-edge slats and hydraulic systems that controlled the left wing's lift. The sudden loss of engine and hydraulic control made the aircraft uncontrollable, and despite the crew's attempts to stabilize it, the DC-10 banked sharply and crashed into an open field near the airport, erupting in flames. The primary cause of the crash was traced back to improper maintenance procedures. American Airlines had adopted a shortcut method for removing and reinstalling the engines and pylons, which involved lifting the engine pylon assembly with a forklift and then guiding it into place. This method was quicker than the procedure recommended by McDonnell Douglas, the manufacturer, but it placed excessive stress on the pylon structure. Over time, this stress caused fatigue cracks to develop in the pylon's mounting structure. On the day of the accident, the weakened pylon finally failed during takeoff, causing the engine to detach. While the mechanical failure was the immediate cause, investigators also highlighted broader issues, including insufficient oversight of maintenance procedures and lack of regulatory enforcement. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, conducted extensive reviews of maintenance standards after the crash, leading to stricter inspection protocols for critical aircraft components and mandatory adherence to manufacturer-approved procedures. Another contributing factor was the design vulnerability of the DC-10, specifically the way its hydraulic systems were routed. When the engine separated, hydraulic lines were severed, which disabled the slats on the left wing and significantly reduced lift. The DC-10's 3-engine design, considered advanced at the time, had inherent vulnerabilities in redundancy. While redundancy usually improves safety, in this case, the loss of one engine and critical hydraulic systems left the aircraft virtually uncontrollable. Pilots attempted to regain control by adjusting thrust and using ailerons, but the damage had caused asymmetric lift that could not be overcome. The aftermath of Flight 191's crash was extensive. McDonnell Douglas faced scrutiny over the DC-10's design, leading to temporary grounding of the entire fleet until safety modifications were implemented. The airline industry underwent a paradigm shift in maintenance culture, emphasizing adherence to manufacturer instructions, thorough inspections, and avoiding cost-saving shortcuts that compromise safety. American Airlines also revised its internal training and maintenance oversight procedures. Additionally, aviation authorities introduced enhanced fatigue testing, pylon inspections, and improved emergency response protocols. Public reaction was one of shock and outrage, with families of victims demanding accountability and reforms to prevent a recurrence of such a catastrophe. The crash also had lasting cultural impact, being studied extensively in aviation safety courses as a cautionary tale of how minor procedural shortcuts can lead to catastrophic consequences. In conclusion, Flight 191's crash was the result of a combination of mechanical failure, human error, and systemic oversight issues. The immediate trigger was the separation of the left engine due to maintenance-induced stress cracks, but underlying causes included inadequate adherence to safety procedures and design vulnerabilities of the DC-10. The disaster transformed aviation safety practices in the United States, making it a pivotal moment in the history of air travel and an enduring reminder of the importance of strict maintenance standards, regulatory oversight, and engineering diligence.